Well, with regard to my mortgage, first of all, a little bit about myself. I'm a real estate investor, and, of course, the market's ever-changing. And being a business guy, you want the option to have the payments lowered. There's a couple things. First of all, to keep some money in your company, and also, I've got other investments on the horizon. So Angela and her team did it again. Just kicked in at the perfect time with the great term, the great rate, and super, super happy with it.
But you needed a little extra dough, you could use that extra dough. So you went to Angela and her team and said, "Look, get me some options here where I can save a little bit of money each month."
Well, yeah, I mean, it was. It goes back. I'll go back to one of my investments. Angela's and her team has done a few mortgages for me now, and you don't really see the scope of what they're doing because they're the experts, and you can tell by the scope and the amount of mortgages that they do. But Angela, she was like a wizard. I mean, she actually, when she did this one investment for me, she had long-term plans for me, obviously. And when we got the mortgage done, again, it just came out for renewal. And I might add, she got the deal done 6 months earlier with no penalty, which was just unbelievable. And she saved me close to $500 a month on that mortgage on my rental. So that was just over the top.
Yeah, put that $500 into your jeans or into that next investment.
You got it, or back onto the equity of that thing, whatever you choose.
Yeah, back onto the equity. Give us a little bit of an insight into the process working through some of those options with the Angela Calla Mortgage Team.
Well, what I do is I don't even try to get my head around it anymore. I leave it to the experts. Angela Calla and her team are just that. I mean, one of the things that I can say is that one thing that I really enjoy about Angela Calla and her team, they're all real estate investors themselves. So, you can't beat, not only one of the top mortgage brokers in Canada, but you can't beat dealing with that individual and her team that have skin in the game themselves. So they know exactly what the plans are. They'll go into detail with you what your long-term plans are. Is this a long-term hold? Is it a buy and sell? Is it a flip? Is it a medium hold? Or so then they tailor that mortgage for you, and then they go out shopping for it. So it's a fantastic experience to say the least.
Well, of course, the service is of no charge too, and it relieves you of that stress and anxiety of running around and doing it yourself. Even though you're a knowledgeable real estate investor, you know enough to leave it in the hands of a true mortgage professional and let you worry about other things with your investment properties.
Well, that's just it. I mean, I don't want to deal with that. That's their, with me being a real estate investor, I want to be able to go out and find those properties that are going to be suited for my needs, whatever they may be, whether they're long-term, whether they're, short-term, whatever the case may be. I want to be able to fire that expertise over to Angela Calla and her team and let them run with it, and that gives me a huge peace of mind.
Short, mid, or long term with your real estate portfolio, Shawn, at least now you have a concrete, albeit possibly changeable, mortgage strategy, mortgage plan moving forward. We always talk about that on the Mortgage Show here at CKNW, and that's critically important for you.
Absolutely. I mean, it's that's the game with real estate is that the numbers have to work. And if the numbers work, beautiful. It's a great long-term strategy, but to make those numbers work, you need the people like Angela Calla and her team to put those pieces together to complete the puzzle. It's fantastic.
Well, with real estate prices rising, as we all know, making those numbers actually work, another reason, another great benefit for having the Angela Calla Mortgage Team crunch those numbers to the point where the overall affordability of a rental property can be realized.
Well, one of the things that, and that's an excellent point. One of the things that I was really pleased with what Angela did with my last investment was that I was looking for a no lock-in, but we were able to negotiate, Angela's team was, so I had nothing to do with it, but to negotiate a really good rate, almost half of what I had previous, and with no penalty, other than other than a 3-month penalty. I could break the term at any time, and so it gives me huge flexibility, and I'm saving $500 a month. So, yeah, I mean, it was absolutely first class and super well done by their team.
As a savvy investor in real estate, Shawn, what advice would you give to others who might be looking to build a real estate portfolio like yourself?
Well, here's what I can say, and I can say this as sincere as possible, because one thing I do about referrals, if someone's painting your fence and they did a crummy job, you're not going to tell your friend that they call these painters. You just don't. So when I give out referrals, and I'm talking to any of my friends or anybody in my network, I would say unequivocally is to call Angela Calla and her team. There's so many moving parts to a mortgage, and it changes all the time. And with the plan and the management of her team, you'll be able to have the best options that give you the lowest cost of home ownership, whether it be a principal residence or whether it be real estate moving forward for investments. You just can't beat the experience from Angela Calla and her team. I would suggest it and refer her to anybody I know anytime. I was just so amazed the first time, and Angela Calla and her team will only do my mortgages from now on and in the